be aware of that, please. Okay then, so this evening, these are the key areas that we're hoping to cover. Key members of staff who are going to be working with your young people, the Year 11 journey and some key dates that are coming up over the course of this year, some of the work that we are doing with students in terms of their learning habits and revision strategies, some information about post-16 and the college application process. We've also got some information on character development work that we're going to be doing. As well as some important information about digital safety at the end. And like I say, if you've got any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat as we're going along, but we'll have some time for questions as well at the end. Okay then, so these are all our mugshots of people who are, sorry, hopefully they will move along shortly. You should be able to see, hopefully, some images of key members of staff on the screen now. And those are, the faces to some of the names that I said before, but there are a couple of additional people there as well. So this year, all students in Year 11 will have a, thank you, all students in Year 11 are going to be getting at least one appointment with the careers advisor, Miss Patrick, and those are starting this half term. So she is a member of staff who works with us several days a week. I think it's 3 days a week that she's in school, but she is able to kind of make frequent appointments with students as they need to help them advise them on their kind of like college applications, future potential apprenticeships, things like that. So she's a really useful kind of contact within school. We've got Kelsey Dunville, who worked with students last year and will continue to work with students this year in terms of kind of pastoral mentor, and I know that she's worked with some of your young people, so that might be a name that you already know. And we've also got Miss Slinger, Caroline Slinger, who works, she leads our achievement team, so she does a lot of work on post-16 with students and the life skills kind of agenda and college applications. So those are some kind of faces and names that you might hear that gives you a bit of background really about who those people are and what they do in school. Okay, I'm going to pass over to Miss Sawa now.
Okay, thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. And I hope you can see this slide. It's not very clear, but we have gone through with our students about our Year 11 learning journey. Okay, so the way we have started, what the starting point is, and what the end, the end results will be. And we will be focusing on each one of them step by step. Let me just go back to that slide where the staff we have introduced. We got Miss Patrick. She's a career advisor. If your child at the moment not decided or in a process of decision, what they want to do in post-16, confused, wanted to have a chat, or not opening up with you, Miss Patrick is lovely. She is one of the best career advisor ever, and you just send an email to us and we make sure that we arrange a meeting with her. And same with Miss Slinger. She does a lot of the projects with the Year 11s based on revision techniques and the home studies, home learning, revisions and everything. So these are the two they work very closely with the year team. Okay, so let's move on to the 11 journey. You can't see clearly, but the students have the information. But I'm going to move on to the dates because the dates are crucial for the timeline. So what we have done the assembly last week, all about the Year 11 journey, the timelines, and they set some targets. And they created the action plan for Year 11s based on their summer reports, the summer reports they have received before they break up. The focus was on how to improve the efforts, how to improve the efforts for home learning, and how to improve the grades. So we spent a good 3 days on action plan and how to move forward. And today they had this, yesterday had the assembly all about motivation and post-16 and preparation for post-16 evening. But we have also launched during life skill lessons. So they had the first life skills lesson yesterday and they started writing their personal statement. And this is where I really want you to be involved, because it happens each year. Okay, about 50% of the parents don't know what they have, what the students have written in their personal statements, because the students don't share with them. Can you please have a look, talk to them about what they're writing for their personal statement. If you need any extra guidance, to help them how to, we will send you the information. They're going to spend 3 hours, so this week, next week, and week after. So they got good 3 weeks to write their personal statements. So the deadline for personal statement is 30th of November. And after that, all the personal statements will be checked and they will be saved. And the students will make 3 copies of their personal statements, because they will be applying for at least 3 colleges. Okay, plan A, B, and C, or college A, B, and C. But we ask them to apply for 3 colleges. Students also this week will be writing the information about themselves, everything, because the form tutor is going to start writing will start writing references. So the references process has started with the gathering information at form time, and the form tutors hopefully will start writing references from next week. And then the deadline, they know the deadline, but 25th of November is the deadline to submit all the college application forms. And it's best to wait till they get the college entry results. So what we're going to do, once we got all the information, once we have got all the application forms, then I will take over, the year team is going to take over, and we're going to basically submit the application forms with their college entry exam results, and also the effort data, also the attendance data, also the punctuality data, and behavior data. And that's why from day one, I've been telling them that attendance needs to be 100%. Attendance below 98% will be classed as satisfactory unless there is a reason why the child was off. And of course, the head of you would know that really well. Same with the punctuality, and effort grades have to be 1 or 2. Okay, anything less than 1 or 2, 3s and 4s won't be acceptable by the colleges. Okay, so what we're going to do now, the deadlines for the personal statements and everything, they are on this slide. Okay, if you can see the slide, it's better. Otherwise, we can send the slides again. So 1st of October, you're going to see your first sets of data, and that data is not based on what they have done in lessons or based on exams. The first sets of data will be based on the effort, how much effort they are putting in during lesson and how much effort they're putting in to do their homework. And that data is for you, for us, for the students to see where they are at. And once we receive the data, we start working with the students that they require additional help, how they can improve the effort in class to maximize their potential. Okay, and the important date, most important one, is the 10th of October, post-16 evening. It's best that you come with your children, with your child for this evening, and make the most of it. Get the prospectus, get all the information as you can. We also will be having every Monday we got assembly day, but we got colleges coming in to do the assemblies. So they're going to give us the application forms if it's a paper copy, and they're also going to give us their prospectuses. So ask your child that this next week is a Varian College coming, week after is Manchester College. So they should be bringing the prospectuses home, and they should be bringing the application form home as well. So please have a chat with them and make sure, don't complete the forms yet, okay, but have a chat with them how to complete the form. We will have a session in our life skills sessions where we're going to help them how to complete the forms. But remember, black pen and capital letters. This is what we need. We would basically start teaching them how to complete the form, how to read all the information on the form and collect the form and collect the information. So when we're going to submit the application forms, the form's going to be completed by your child or by you. We're going to send the application form with the college entry exam results, their references, and their personal statements. So these are the 4 things going to go to the college. Okay, college entry. So when the college entry exams will start, that's the starting date is 4th of November, and it's going to last for a good 2.5 weeks till 20th of November. We're going to prepare them, of course. The teachers will do everything to make sure they're getting prepared for the exams. And not only that, we've got the microphone on. Okay. And not only that, we're going to launch the revision sessions from next week. We're going to send you the information next week, and there are revision sessions in the morning before school, and the revision sessions are after school. Can you please make sure that your child attend the revision sessions, because it is important. The revisions are designed designed by the teachers to make sure that your child is prepared for the college entry exam or further. We're going to have an official results morning where they're going to receive their results, and that is 2nd of December. And they're going to open the results, and they're going to, have it. And we're also going to send their data home as well, same day. 5th of December, after the results, is the ideal time to have a parents' evening, because that is a crucial time then how to move forward, okay, and way to move forward. So parents' evening will be 5th of December. And that's me. For me, 18th of December is the time I'm going to send all the application forms to the colleges. And by the time when you come back, when the students going to come back after Christmas holidays, they will beginning to hear from colleges. The whole process takes 3 months. If you don't hear anything, don't worry about it. End of March is the time when they process all the applications. Okay, so that is the plan for our autumn term. Okay, and then after that we got 6th of February is the MFL mock exam will start, 24th. So these are the dates for you to remember. As we said, that the PowerPoint will be, will get sent to you, and also these slides will get sent to you, so you got all the information there. But the March mock exams, there will be another sets of mock exams, and they will start from 24th of February. Okay, and then of course there's always a celebration. 26th of June will be the prom, and the students are already talking about it. But then it also helps you to, if you want to go on holidays and if you want to plan anything. But 26th of June will be the time that we will officially end. Okay, Scott, over to you, and then I will come back to you about more stuff on post 16.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mrs. Scott, and I'm one of the assistant head teachers attached to Year 11. I'm going to talk through some of the key scholar habits that we're driving with Year 11 in lesson, and it also covers organisation for revision and revision study habits. And I can also share with you the draft of the revision timetable and the revision offering that we're providing in school, and that will get sent out formally by the end of this week, so it's just in draft form. So there are 2 key scholar habits that we're driving with Year 11 this half term. The first is organise, and it's focusing on our strong starts to lesson and organising our exercise books, and it's given 100% focus every lesson and 100% participation. So it's been driven by all staff across school, just to kind of set those really good habits in lesson. And it really sets up students' exercise books. If you've seen any of your children's books, you will notice that they're exceptional. Our exercise books are the prime source of revision for our students. So if students are taking detailed notes and they're tracking their teacher, this will be their main source of information for revision. So we'd really appreciate it if you could have that conversation with your child, just to make sure that they are bringing home their exercise book so they can revise from it, and they are taking it to school as a notebook, as a journal, to take down the information that they're going to need. And each subject has its own exercise book and its own colour, and it will help students to be organised.
You can see here some of our examples, and then using this alongside revision guides and flashcards. So our year 11s are trained up, not just in year 11, but throughout school, in order to be effective at revision and using the exercise book as a tool. So there's a core set of revision habits that students are supported with developing. So we call these our secrets of success, that focus on study habits, revision habits, and then mental fitness alongside this. And we know that revision is a huge process, and this is why we have our college entry mock exams. We have our spring mocks in March leading up to the GCSEs, so that we can help students to navigate their revision, to work out where their revision is effective and what they need to do to set targets to move on, because ultimately the end goal is setting them up for success in August when they get their results and moving them on to their post-16 option. So a part of this excuse me, is providing in-school revision. So this is the draft version of the revision timetable and the revision offering in school. We are offering a package of breakfast revision. So you can see here that some of the sessions are invite only, in which the head of department or curriculum lead will send that invitation out to the cohort. And then there is an alteration between week A and week B on some of the subjects. Those will drive up until the college entry exams, the March mocks, and then up to the summative GCSE exam as well. This is a revision timetable that we expect all year 11 to be using and attending in school. This is for students to opt in, and we know that students will perform best in their exams when they are in front of their class teacher, the expert in that subject knowledge, revising as a part of their class or their curriculum area. The library on a Tuesday is exclusive use for year 11 as well, and revision also includes home study and homework that is homework is set alongside regular revision. So revision, which we're going to talk about in this session, revision acts as a standalone to homework. So it's really important that students start developing a routine of sustained little habits of little and often to build their independence, to build their motivation. And even if there's no homework that has been set by their class teacher, they should still be studying each night. So if your child is coming home and saying that they haven't got any revision or all their revisions done, it's not all done. There is always something to be done. Each curriculum area will provide a revision timetable and a breakdown of the topics that are required for students to study. So you can see here there is an example from science. It breaks down what should be revised on which week and the link that the student can go to work on that particular area. For you at home, you can support your child by making sure that there is a place to study at home, and by building in that revision routine with your child. So if there is a desk or a dining room table, making sure that the area is quiet, maybe even taking the phone away from your child so that they're not distracted, helping them with a timer so that they know how long they're revising for. Even simple resources like a highlighter or a coloured pen, paper, revision cards, flashcards are useful. A lot of this we can provide in school by encouraging them to use the habits that their class teachers are setting up, and by creating that routine and working with your child, then you can help them to actively do revision and help to motivate and create that motivation for our young people. Students, we have in the study centre lots of blank revision timetables. So like students when they're in school and they have a 25 period school week from Monday to Friday, having that similar consistency at home is vital. So knowing that on a Monday at 5 p.m. I'm going to be revising English, and then on Monday at 6 p.m. I'm going to be doing science, and having that consistency week in, week out helps to create successful revision habits, and it leads up and creates success then in the summative GCSEs as well. There are lots of other resources available. So Class teachers and curriculum areas are used to put in their resources on Microsoft Teams. So it is vital that your child logs into Microsoft Teams regularly to see those assessments and the assignments that have been set. They can log in from any home computer or any device, just going to office.com. They can download the Office 365 app, and they're just using their school account to log in and the password that's been set up for them. On Teams, there is a whole host of resources. So you're really looking for SharePoint, which is the little green diagram, and there are home study pages, there are Year 11 past papers, mock papers that can be downloaded, there are revision notes, there are PowerPoints from lessons that have the whole curriculum on there for students to access. There are walkthrough videos from teachers so that students can go and watch their teachers deliver a session virtually, and they could use that as one of their revision sessions as well. But there's other things on there as well. So there's information about personal statements and college applications. There are tasks for NEAs and coursework deadlines. It's a really important bank that your child needs to be using. So it's definitely worthwhile having that conversation after this meeting, and maybe even just sitting with your child and getting them to show you where those things are, so that you know that they can access them. We also have GCSE Pod. GCSE Pod is phenomenal, and it is free for your child to use. Nearly all of the subjects that are in school are on GCSE Pod. Now, if your child is somebody that enjoys watching videos, YouTube, they can soak up information in this way, then we really recommend using GCSE Pod. There are short videos, they're about 4 to 5 minutes, and they are created by expert teachers in that subject area. So teachers may set assignments on there with videos and multiple choice questions to watch, but also students can just access them themselves. And what's really good about GCSE Pod is it has its own app. So if your child is somebody that walks to school and they listen to their earpods, or they get a bus or a tram, they could have that on in the background and listen to it whilst they're doing other tasks as well. So those pods can be saved offline for outside when we're maybe not on Wi-Fi, and students can go back to them again and again. GCSE Pod is really worthwhile using for online learning. We also have on there check and challenge, which means that students can check their understanding independently. They can have a look at different topics if they're unsure. So this is really useful if students have got gaps in their subject knowledge. Maybe they missed a lesson and it's not in their exercise book. If your child is going for grade 6 and above, GCSE Pod can supplement with some extra additional knowledge and practice that takes students from achieving grade 6 and 7 up to grade 8. So students just need to log on using their Microsoft Teams password and their email address, their school account. It's exactly the same. Everything is linked up. If your child's having a problem accessing GCSE Pod, then they just need to contact one of the year team, or their form tutor can do it, or one of their class teachers can do it. They can reset that password on GCSE Pod, and it can be done via Teams on a chat, or they can just have a conversation. We can do that at the end of a lesson. It's a really popular time to do that. The most popular method of revision online is Seneca. So as a school, we provide a Seneca package, and students can log in using their Microsoft account and their password, and teachers can set assignments on there. But really importantly, students can go over this again and again. It's definitely the most popular form of revision using Seneca. And using these online platforms like GCSE Pod and like Seneca, we recommend using them little and often. So making sure that you're doing maybe half an hour to an hour on these platforms each evening per session, and it will help students to chunk their revision too. Students can test themselves as they're working through a topic. They can take notes on this information. They can supplement their exercise book, and as well, it allows students to build in their assessment practice. There are exam questions on there. Priority for your child really is to get their revision resources organized. So they're looking at making their flashcards so that they can self-test and they can retrieve information. They're looking to do that by using their exercise book. and by using Seneca to supplement their knowledge, by making their mind maps. These are all habits that they're familiar with, that we have been pushing all the way through their 5-year journey at Chorlton High School, and then using GCSE Pod and Seneca to supplement their revision. If you want to buy revision guides, they are available on Arbor, and you can buy them on Arbor, and then your child can collect the revision guide from reception in form, which is a really good time to go and collect them. But if your child is setting up their exercise book as they should be and with the expectation, then there shouldn't be a need to buy a revision guide if their notes are clear and organized, and if they don't need to use Seneca to supplement. It's really up to the individual curriculum area to what they advise.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, so Mrs. Scott's just talked through, you know, everything related to revision, and I know that's where a lot of, you know, I've had a contact, and I've spoken with and met with kind of a lot of parents already and a lot of carers already, and I know that obviously being year 11, I know that that's where a lot of you know, your anxieties lie, because I know that that's where a lot of your children's anxieties lie. But I think it's important that we also kind of remember that, you know, at Chorlton High School, we're about developing, you know, the rounded child, like the full, you know, like a happy, successful, creative individual. So a little bit just about our personal development curriculum that continues, as well as all the, you know, the academic side of things this year. So put all of these. I'm not going to talk too long for this because I know it's a lot of information that we're sharing with you. Let me go back when I've gone one too far there. Okay, so we really focus a lot with students on what we call the qualities of success. We've done quite a bit of work over the past few years to look at, you know, our students who finish with us, leave with us, and kind of go on to fulfill their future ambitions and their, you know, kind of their college paths and their, you know, what they want to aspire to. And we kind of trace, you know, the kind of learning, the qualities of success essentially that they share. And these ones here, so optimism, empathy, reflection, practice, responsibility, creativity, resilience, motivation, and curiosity. And we've worked really hard since year 7 to kind of develop these traits within your children, within your young people. And that continues this year. We talked to students a lot about the fact that this year 11 journey, they've got to be, we've really got to work hard on that resilience and that motivation and that responsibility. And those things are going to be things that we continue to kind of focus on. So, you know, you'll hear a lot of this language in our kind of communication with students, and in, you know, the kind of messages that come out to you guys as well. So as part of the year 11 journey, we really make sure that we're focusing on the positive character traits that we've just kind of looked at, you know, those kind of qualities of success that we know are really life skills and really important, but we also focus on this idea of having skills for life and being really prepared for what's coming next, and also employability skills. We know that our young people, a lot of them will go off to college and they will go to, you know, kind of study A levels and T levels. Some of our young people want to go into apprenticeships, so we know that, you know, there's regardless of what path they're taking, we really focus on all of those 3 different areas. Okay then, so let me just so our character and our tutor curriculum is an aspect of our personal development curriculum, and we really want to focus on this idea of building a strong community of belonging, helps strengthen student character, and really equips our students with the skills, qualities, and understanding to become successful, creative, and happy individuals who will go on to become positive contributors to wider societies. That's something that we feel really, you know, kind of strongly about, regardless of what their aspirations and what their, you know, kind of what they want to do basically when they leave. So another area that we talked about was the kind of how you can how you can help, how you know what your child is focusing on in different subjects. So as is the case in previous years, so you might be well used to kind of navigating our school website now, and we are in the process of navigating to a new school website. So if you've been on there over the past couple of days and noticed that, oh, it looks a bit different, we're hoping that by the end of this week it might even be live now actually as I speak, but you know, there are a couple of changes. However, in terms of navigating it, it's still going to be the same. So you will go to the kind of the year 11, and you will be able to access for each of the different subject areas that your child studies exactly what they're covering each half term and each term. A lot of the case, you know, in a lot of the subjects, at some point, the kind of the course content will change to revision. So different subjects are at different points in terms of delivering their full syllabus. So, you know, there's a healthy chunk of each curriculum area is devoted to revision in lessons as well. Okay, so Mrs. Scott talked before about revision, and as part, and she also explained that, you know, kind of standing separate to that is home learning, and that home learning is still a big part of what your child will be bringing home each day, and you can see there the kind of the what we set out to curriculum areas as our expectations in each of the different kind of subject areas. So there is going to be a recording of this. Yeah, sorry. There is, you know, kind of really students are expected to still be doing their home learning, their homework, and that is really designed to extend and develop the things that they are focusing on in lessons. Aside to that, we expect them to begin that kind of revision, that home kind of like revision that Mrs. Scott was talking about before. We've talked a little bit about that. We've talked about, so in terms of homework and where you will access those, but really this is the same. This is not new information for you as year 11 parents. Maths homework still set on Sparks this year. There will be a combination of some Educake for English, science and computing, but there will be certainly in English, there will be an increasing amount of kind of essay writing and practice as part of their homework. And MFL will still be utilising aspects on Quizlet. So students are familiar with using those, and they've used those since last year. So hopefully, you know, if you've got any questions about those, please feel free to ask. But that's really just the same as it was last year. We use Microsoft Teams as a kind of centralized hub. So where your child has tasks that they might need to complete on paper, or whether your child has got like a Sparks homework or something that they need to do on a different site, Teams will be the point that they will check that from. So your teacher has been asked to kind of set all tasks through Teams as a first point of call, even if it says, you know, for example, maths, you've got a Sparks homework task, log on to Sparks, do that. They all know that they can use, students all know that they will be able to use Teams as their kind of, I suppose, a bit of a diary really of what they need to keep on top of. Saying that, we are in the process of migrating the classes from last year to this year. So if you were to log on to Teams if your child was to log on to Teams right now, they might find actually their classes haven't yet updated for this year. We've been assured that that's going to happen over the next couple of days. Okay then, so talking a little bit now about the mental fitness provision. Obviously, year 11 is a really important year for young people. We're highly aware that for this year group, they didn't sit their kind of external SATs exams when they were in year 6. And we're aware that with them not doing that, whilst I know that kind of testing students in year 6 is a very, you know, kind of controversial topic, we're very aware that there's something about going through that landmark in year 6 where they've built up to something, they've perhaps been a little bit nervous about it, and they've kind of learned that they're able to get through that. We're aware that that kind of landmark is something that this year group haven't been through. So we're very aware that, you know, kind of supporting our young people through this year is absolutely crucial. We are committed to kind of supporting young people's mental fitness, and as in previous years, I wanted to just kind of talk you through some of the kind of support that we offer through school, basically. All students have access to what we call our universal provision. So this is information, and information about this is covered in our Respect Framework for Learning and the Mental Health Fitness Framework for Learning that can be found on the school website. Interventions at wave 1, so you can see that on there. These don't require any referral. So these are things that the heads of year, assistant head teachers who work with the year group, form tutors kind of put in place that can easily support our young people. So these might be kind of check-ins during form time. I know that I work with a few young people and I check in with them once a fortnight just to see how they're getting on with certain things. These kind of, they don't need a referral. It's just members of staff identify young people, perhaps making themselves known to young people, or the pastoral team being aware that actually there's a little bit of support that we can offer. And we have things like quiet spaces. We might refer students to websites that we think might be helpful, maybe some internet support. At wave 2 and 3, these are interventions that can be made through a referral that is made by the head of year. Now, we know that there are waiting lists for a lot of these that you can see there. So we've got a think room in school that we've got a small waiting list for. We do referrals for 42nd Street, music therapy, drama therapy, those kind of things. And again, if you're interested in, or if you think one of those might be useful for your young person, please go to the mental fitness page of the website or contact us and Miss Baxter, and we can give you a bit more information about those as well. Wave 4 are outside services that school can refer, that we can refer students on for. If you're worried about your young person's mental health, though, we would always advise you, yes, to let us know in school, but always to seek advice from your GP as well. I think that's really important as well. And as always, if you've got any questions or concerns about that, please do let us know. Okay, then, so a little bit of additional kind of support for SEND students, a bit of information about that. So during mock exam periods, students who are entitled to access arrangements such as extra time, readers or scribes, those are provided during our college entry exams and our March mocks. It's really important that we make sure that students get really used to kind of working with those access arrangements. So your young person can absolutely expect to receive those in their mock exams. Students are going to be offered some additional out-of-class support with college applications and personal statements if they are on our SEND register, and that might be a small group or one-to-one support with one of our experienced teaching assistants. And we're also offering some revision and home study support, particularly around explicit teaching of revision strategies and supporting organisations. So, for example, supporting with home study timetables and their Access and Achievement Department are going to be in touch shortly with parents of students who are on our SEND register to kind of advise and signpost where that support is going to be put in place. Okay, and now over to Ms. Sawa for 16.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Right, I know there's a lot of information today, and if you need any support, if you want to talk to us, if you want to meet us, by all means, okay, we are here for you. And if you think that your child needs some kind of support, it's quite overwhelming in the year 11. We have done the survey in year 10, at the end of year 10, and a lot of 50% students did say that they require some help for creating the home study timetable and also motivation. Okay, and that's the bit you need to work on with your child, and we will be working on it to make sure that we provide help wherever they are struggling the most. So the first meeting we're going to have face-to-face with you will be on 10th of October. Okay, so please make sure that you do come. All the colleges will be there. We've got lots of people from, they provide apprenticeship opportunities. They're also other the side courses as well. So it's a lot of there's a lot of organization coming, and they will try their best to basically sell their whatever they have got to offer. So please do come. Okay, sometime it's nice. I know that the colleges are there. Sometimes it's nice to have a look at what other agencies and other companies or other organizations have to offer. Okay, and help your child to choose a suitable pathway. As I always say, have a plan A, B, and C ready, because it's always crucial that we secure the places for at least 3 colleges, and then they have got the choice when they get the results to go to whatever college they want to go to. So please come to that for that session. It's between 6 till 8:30. Okay, I have gone through with the college application process, about 3 colleges, you know, they have to choose. They can do more than 3, you know, there are people that choose 6, 7. It's, you know, no problem. With the online application forms, it's different, okay? So with online application forms, we suggest that don't apply yet until they get their college entry exam results. Some colleges do ask for the references, some colleges don't. It depends on what colleges they're applying for. Okay, and then all the forms should be if there are paper copies, they need to be submitted to us by 30th of November. Right, the other thing is now come out of the comfort zone, go out and about, and then explore the colleges. Okay, not all the colleges could be suitable for your child. When you get there, and you will like the atmosphere, you like the teachers, you like the courses they are offering, it could be something, you know, this is a different experiences. So on Friday, all the students will get the copy of the college open events, and also we're going to upload this on Teams as well, so you can basically directly go onto their website and have a look what they have got to offer. Some colleges you have to book the event if you're going for the open days, and some colleges is open. So these are the deadlines, and as you can see that the first 21st of September and onwards, the open, and 21st of September and onwards, the open days have started, and you can just pencil that and take your child wherever and whatever is that interests you. Okay, and I've done about the personal statements already, and once the personal statements are done, each student have their portfolio, and I will show you the copy, what the portfolio look like. I'll just quickly grab one. Sorry. Right, so these are the portfolios, okay, and the plastic cover, and they got everything what they have achieved since year 7, and they're going to save their personal statements in there, so everything is in there, so they can bring the portfolio home, so you can have a look what's in there. But it's you know that we have invested a lot of money on these portfolios. Looks official when they go for interviews as well, and also it's something they can keep forever. Their certificates, their postcards, they got the IDEA certificates in there. They also got their SSAT certificates in there. Whatever they have done, and when they bring it home, the students might be doing something after school activities, or they join the club, so they can put all the certificates, everything in that portfolio. So that is crucial when they go for job interviews, either for the college interviews or job interviews. These portfolios can stay with them forever. So each student have got the portfolio. Right, digital safety.
Yeah, last couple of slides now, and then we can open it up to any additional questions you've got. Right, just I know you all know this, and I always hope that we're not going to have any issues with year 11 students, but we have issues with digital safety every year with year 11 students as well. So we talk to students a lot about digital safety, but please can you also just kind of like have a word and really try to encourage when they're on their Teams, when they're on any of their kind of like school related kind of devices or websites, please will you just kind of talk to them about the importance of making sure the passwords are secure. Every year we have issues with students in a number of year groups, year 11 included, where somebody's had horrible messages sent from their Teams account, and when we ask them, have they got a secure password, their password really isn't secure at all and could be guessed by anyone. So that's one thing that we always talk to young people about. But just I know it sounds common sense, but if you can also kind of like push that a little bit, we'd be really grateful. obviously, I know that, I'm a parent myself. I know that, kind of navigating young people's social media use, it can be a bit of a nightmare. One of the I think boons of young people being in year 11 is that we can really make sure that we're talking to them about their kind of academic success as part of this, though. We as a school, we talk to young people, but that when they are revising, they should not have their phones with them, that they should have those outside of the room, that they're not forming a distraction. If they are obviously using their phone to look at Seneca, that's fine, but make sure they've got some of their other kind of social media apps, on kind of like a snooze, or like a, they're not accessing those at the same time. We would always still encourage, just from a digital safety point of view, that for young people to still be open with you about what they're accessing on terms of social media, so that you're able to check their kind of their usage and what is being kind of accessed. And also, sometimes, parents ask about this, but we would, actively encourage students to disable location services on their apps. We just find that it's just a sensible thing to do. If anybody wants to kind of get in touch with any kind of follow-up messages in school with any individual students about kind of online use and how much they're kind of using their phone and things like that, please do let us know. We have those conversations with young people as a pastoral team. One of the big things that we talk to young people about is the fact that, really, as we as adults know, they need to have a bit of downtime before they're going to sleep, not accessing, kind of anything that's going to have that kind of blue light, an hour before bedtime. We talk to students a lot about things like that. So that if that helps kind of reinforce some of the messages that you're giving at home, then hopefully it will help. A little bit about kind of managing screen time there. There is so National Online Safety is an organisation that have regular updates about different apps. You might be very kind of tech savvy and you might know about all of these different apps, but I certainly know that I, as a parent, struggle to keep up with things. They produce some quite useful kind of guidance for parents about some of the things you need to be aware of, about TikTok and other kind of social media platforms. And knowledge is power, isn't it? Sometimes it's really helpful to know what some of the acronyms and some of the, kind of abbreviations that young people are using can mean. And that website's one that's, I find quite useful anyway. Okay, I'm just going to want to do one additional message, and then we'll do kind of like end it. We are concerned that there have been a couple of incidents outside of school hours since we come back to term where CHS students tends to have been in lower school but have been targeted in Chorlton Park by unknown members of the community. They are, it seems, police have been involved. It's people who don't come to this school. They're kind of like, kind of youths from the local area. I wanted to reassure people that we've got staff in the park at the end of the school day. These incidents have happened when staff have left and have returned to school. As a school, we're working with local police to address this matter, to ensure that our young people are safe in this area. But we have gone out, and you will have seen, a message has gone home today to you as parents and carers. But these are the messages that we're going out to our young people with in assemblies, just to be careful and be really vigilant kind of when they're making their way home. We've kind of suggested that, certainly in the near future, not walking home alone through the park might be a good idea. Not stopping to talk to any strangers, common sense things, but also just making sure that they're not kind of advertising their valuables. So, kind of not with their music blaring and not with their phones out, if they're walking on their own, just to be sensible, really. We have also, though, had kind of messages from some of the parents of, students who are further down school, talking about how actually some of our older students in school, so that will be some of your children, have actually really kind of supported young people if they've been upset in the park and have brought them back to school and have reported things to us. So I just also wanted to say thank you for raising such wonderful young humans. Okay then, so I think that's everything now. So Thank you very much for attending. You know, we really value your support. We hope that we're going to be able to work together brilliantly to have a really, really successful year. We would be grateful if you could just take a minute to complete like the short survey. We're going to open it up. We've got 10 minutes. So I know we've been answering a lot of questions in the chat. There were a couple of things that we thought were worthwhile to kind of talk about in front of everybody. I can't remember what the question was though. Can you remember what it was?
30th of November.
Oh, right. So, yeah. So the first one that somebody thought would be worthwhile to kind of say out loud was, so just to clarify, the 30th of November is the deadline for students handing into school their college applications with their personal statement with that. So what students do is they hand them into us as a pastoral team. We check them all, we go through them all, and then we send them off to school, to colleges. Okay. If you want to unmute yourself and ask any questions or type anything in the chat now, you know, if you've got any kind of additional questions that we've not addressed, that's fine. We've also shared our email addresses on there. I think mine's certainly on there a couple of times. If there's anything that you think is pertinent to your child, but you know it might not be anybody else, please feel free to email us. You know, either myself, Mrs. Scott, or Miss Sarwar will get back to you. You know, as soon as we're able to, probably tomorrow or Thursday. But yeah, we'll hang around here, and if you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. But otherwise, you know, have a wonderful evening, and thank you so much for your time.